Maria's own auntie had just sold her for a one-way ticket to Rome. She did not know it yet. On their street in Benin, everyone thought she was the lucky one, the girl going abroad, the one God had finally remembered. But while her mother was thanking her sister for helping her child, a man in another country was already paying for Maria like she was goods. If you love deep, emotional African stories, you're in the right place. This is Tatafo Express, and this is part one of Sold to Rome by My Own Auntie. Stay with me till the end, and when you're done, make sure you continue the story in part two. You'll find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, this is how it all started. In the heart of Benin City, Ursula was raising her only child, Maria. Maria was 18, dark skin like polished cocoa, sharp eyes, and a brain that made teachers whisper, "That one, if she leaves this country, she will shine." But poverty has a way of sitting in the middle of your living room like a stubborn uncle that refuses to leave. Ursula sold a Cara by the roadside. She could barely pay WEC fees, but Maria still came out with straight A's. Maria wanted to be a doctor. Ursula wanted that too, but her pockets did not. One evening, Maria sat with her mother on the doorstep, watching traders pack up their wares. "Mummy," Maria said quietly, "do you ever wonder what it feels like to want something so badly that you can taste it?" Ursula looked at her daughter. "What do you want to taste, my daughter?" "Medicine. Not just to be a doctor, though that too. I want to understand how the body speaks when the mouth can't. I want to save people the way Auntie Chioma saved me when I got malaria." Maria paused. "And I want to leave Benin City. Not because I don't love home, but because if I stay here with these marks, these grades, and no opportunity, it will kill something in me, slowly." Ursula pulled her close. She understood that hunger. She had felt it once before poverty taught her to settle. Then one December, Rome landed in Benin in the form of Ursula's older sister, Genevieve. Genevieve arrived in a big car, wearing Brazilian hair down her back, gold bangles, perfume that smelt like foreign currency. Neighbours gathered, children pointed. At night, when the generator hummed and mosquitoes started their choir, Genevieve sat Ursula down. "Ursula, you know I love you," she started, twisting the stem of her wine glass. "I know," Ursula said, even though the last time Genevieve sent money was 3 years ago. Genevieve continued, "Maria is wasting here. That girl is too brilliant. Let me help you. Let her come to Rome. I will put her in university, medicine. She will stay with me. All you need is small contribution for ticket. I will handle the rest." Ursula's heart jumped and sank at the same time. Sank because she had heard stories. Girls going abroad and never calling home again. Jumped because this was her sister. Blood. When Genevieve described Rome, Maria didn't just listen passively. She asked questions, sharp ones. "But Auntie, medicine in Italy? Won't it be different? Different curriculum? Will my WEC even count?" Genevieve waved a hand. "These things we will sort. I have contacts, very good contacts." Maria's eyes narrowed slightly, not doubting, but not blind either. "And what will I do while waiting? Work, study language first?" There was pragmatism in Maria's voice, caution. She had her mother's survival instinct wrapped in her youth's optimism. Later, when Genevieve wasn't listening, Maria grabbed her mother's hand. "Mummy, I'm scared," she whispered. "But I'm more scared of staying." Ursula held her daughter's face. "Fear just means it matters. Go. But stay sharp, eh? Rome will teach you things Benin cannot, but keep your eyes open." Maria nodded. She would remember that, or she would forget it at exactly the moment it mattered most. Within days, the entire street knew. Aunties appeared at Ursula's door with knowing looks. The neighbourhood women gathered while Ursula sold a Cara. "Sister," said Mama Blessing, a widow who had lost 2 children to lack of opportunity, "do you know how many girls pray for what you're refusing to accept? My Kioma cries every night because I cannot send her anywhere. And your Maria, sharp as a razor, she will waste here. Selling a Kara like you, that is not her future. Ursula said nothing. She flipped the Akara, but she heard. That night, Ursula couldn't sleep. She imagined Maria in a white coat, Maria introducing herself as Doctor, Maria sending money home. She also imagined the stories, the girls who forgot their families, the ones who changed, the ones who never called back. Against this fear stood Mama Blessing's words, her own mother's voice, and the weight of knowing that staying safe sometimes meant staying trapped. Genevieve, sensing hesitation, made the decision feel inevitable. Ursula, she said one evening, I leave in 2 weeks. This window doesn't stay open forever. People are waiting for opportunities like this. And Maria deserves better than wondering what if. It wasn't a threat. It was worse. It was truth mixed with pressure, delivered with the certainty of someone who had already left and was offering a rope to someone still drowning. By the following week, Ursula had made her choice. It was her late husband's land. Small, red earth that had fed their family for years. The land where Maria learned to plant tomatoes at age 7, where Ursula had buried her umbilical cord according to tradition, tethering her spirit to home. One morning, Ursula stood on that plot with the land agent. Her hands shook as she signed. The pen felt heavier than it should. She didn't cry. She had cried enough in her life. But as she walked away from the house for the last time as its owner, she touched the gate. Once, like goodbye to a person. The ticket money came from that red earth. And with it, a prayer so desperate it almost sounded like a curse. Let this be worth it, God. Please let this be worth it. The night before the flight, Ursula couldn't sleep. She sat beside her daughter, watching her snore softly, clutching her new passport. God, please, she whispered. If this is a mistake, stop it now. Morning came. God was silent. At the airport, emotions poured. Ursula hugged her daughter like somebody who knew part of her soul was boarding that plane. Tears soaked Maria's anchor address. Mummy, I'll call you when I land, Maria promised. Genevieve hugged them quickly and glanced at her watch. We can't miss this flight. We? Ursula asked, hope flickering in her eyes. Of course we, Genevieve smiled. Did you think I would send Maria alone? I'm taking her myself. She'll stay with me until she settles. Relief flooded Ursula's face. At least her daughter would not make the journey alone. They waved as Maria and Genevieve moved toward security together, Maria's small box trailing behind her like a faithful dog. Maria turned back once, her hand raised. Ursula held it there, frozen, until her daughter disappeared past the barrier. As Ursula stood at the airport entrance, tears streaming down her face, Genevieve and Maria made their way through the corridor toward their gate. While other passengers shuffled past, Genevieve slipped away to a quieter corner near the restrooms. Her posture changed, shoulders back, phone already at her ear, professional, different. Maria didn't follow. She sat at the gate, scrolling through her phone, imagining Rome. Within seconds, Genevieve's phone vibrated with a message, then another. She scrolled, her thumb moving quickly, and typed a response. A man's voice, different from any voice that had spoken to Genevieve all week, came through as a call that she'd apparently been waiting for. Ciao, Carlos. When is the new girl arriving? I hope she's fresh. My clients are paying good money. Carlos, the new girl is arriving tonight, 11 p.m. She's perfect, very innocent. Genevieve's lips curved into a smile, the kind of smile no one in Benin City had ever seen, not warm, satisfied. She ended the call and slipped the phone back into her expensive bag. Back at the airport entrance, Ursula stood alone, watching the space where her daughter had been. She thought of Maria on the plane, safe with her aunt. She thought of the land she had sold. She thought of sacrifice and faith and the price of dreams. Thank you, sister, she whispered to the air, as if Genevieve could hear her across the distance. God will reward you for what you're doing for my daughter. While Ursula stood at the airport, thanking the woman she trusted most in the world. Maria was already in the air, flying toward a fate her mother could never have imagined. Her land was gone. Her only child was gone. And the opportunity she had prayed for was already being priced in euros by strangers. This is just the beginning. Maria thinks she's flying into her future, but something far darker is waiting in Rome. That's where we'll pause Maria's story for now. If you want to know what really awaits her in Rome, don't stop here. Go straight to part 2 of Sold to Rome by My Own Aunty. The link is waiting for you in the description and in the pinned comment. If this story touched you so far, please like this video, let us know your thoughts, drop a comment and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series on Tatafo Express.